education. Fun education, not occupation. Fun education, not occupation. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East, no justice, no peace. U.S. out of the Middle East.
As was war today on the 5th anniversary of a war that's gone on long enough. Could everybody convert and make your signs visible, and we will shout and chant some more. But first, we're going to have a speaker representing the student community at Harvard. Give it up for Anniv with money.
Greetings. Greetings. Kaveri introduced me as a speaker from the Harvard community, but today I want to speak to you also as a non-American, actually, as a Pakistani in America. For me, it's this condition of being a Pakistani in America, and specifically the political consequences of this condition that I want to speak to you about today, really briefly, very quickly. It's basically the fact, what I see as the principal deficiency of the anti-war movement in this country, or the indigenous anti-war movement in this country, which is that its hesitance, namely its hesitance to formulate its opposition to this war as an opposition to empire.
Yeah, man.
Yeah! And so very quickly I want to speak to you also just quickly about the predicament of HAWK, the anti-war group at Harvard. We talked about what would be the most efficient way of generating anti-war sentiment on this campus this year, and we came up with a campaign of divestment, because as everyone knows, Uncle Harvey has his hands in anti-war profiteering, in pro-war profiteering. He has his hands.
He's here to do some songs for us. Let's thank Chuck for coming out on the stage. This first song I'm going to do is a song that was around in the 60s.
Yeah!
It's called Long Time Gone. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long time gone, and it appears to be a long, appears to be a long time, such a long, long time before the dawn, before the dawn. Say a word, your grannies are singing and we want to be heard. We sing for children all over this earth, whatever their color or country of birth. We sing for those who go to war, not always sure what they're fighting for. We sing for the grief and the loss and the pain. We hope we never have to do this again. On the war in Iraq, just on that one day, over these 5 years, $600 billion worth of lost opportunities. Instead of $600 billion worth of bodies that were not healed, of homes that were not made available to so many of our fellow citizens that need them. Instead of $600 billion worth of education that did not take place, instead of anxiety and financial pressure on families that was not alleviated, and in place of second chances that were not given, and populations of American cities left to fend for themselves in the face of a whirling angel of death called Katrina,
That $600 billion was used for war. Truly, this is insanity. But then, of course, there are the 5 years of the deaths and pain and horror directly attributable to the war itself. 3,990 dead U.S. soldiers and their families who will never recover from such loss. Hundreds more have committed suicide to finally escape the demons of war. 30,000 wounded, 8,000 of whom have lost limbs. Another 30,000 casualties from disease and non-hostile action. 50,000 concussions. And according to the American Medical Association, 200,000 who will require mental health treatment. Finally, hundreds of thousands of family members of those casualties who will have to care for them pretty much for the rest of their lives. Surely this is tragedy. But how can these catastrophes we have brought upon our own country and its people compare to the oceans of tears the Iraqis have cried for their children blown apart by our gunships, spewing death from the sky, for their husbands and wives and sisters and brothers and friends, for their destroyed country, and for the desperation they feel just trying to survive each day. As we learned last weekend from American soldiers who fought in Iraq and had the courage to tell us the truth, 900,000 dead Iraqis only begins to tell this story, the story of a society that has come apart at the seams, the pressure of high-tech military and political assault.